Hi everyone, Sterling Jakewith here. Welcome to the 8-week Catholic Minimalism Challenge. Some of you may be watching this video on Facebook. Others are listening to the audio for the podcast that goes along with this challenge. Either way, this is the welcome video that's going to tell you what to expect here in the next 8 weeks and to help you get ready for week 1. So I just wanted to say hello. I'm Sterling Jakewith. I am the author of Catholic Mom Challenge, my book about striving for sainthood. I'm the author of Be Merry, which is my Advent book. And then my newest book, Not of This World, which is my Catholic Guide to Minimalism and hopefully why all of you are here. I am also the host of the Coffee and Pearls podcast, which comes out every Tuesday, and it's just 15 minutes of wisdom for Catholic moms. So it's a real quick and easy listen while you're folding some clothes or driving to pick up some kids. And we talk about what the heck it looks like to try to be a saint in today's world. I have a degree in finance, which I don't use anymore. I am a certified dog trainer, so if you have any questions about puppies or dog training, it's my favorite thing to talk about, so shoot me an email. I'm an adult convert. I converted in 2010, right before I got married to my husband. That's a long story, and I share it in a lot of different places, but I won't be sharing that here. I am a recovering J.Crew addict. I used to buy lots of clothes there until I realized I couldn't afford to buy lots of clothes there. I think that's a common American problem, and I wish I had learned that a little bit younger. So here we are, week 1. I'm so excited that you're here. And one thing you'll come to learn about me and every product that I put out is that I basically write books and create products that I need, right? So I woke up one day and went, wow, what's this minimalism thing about? Because I have too much stuff. It's driving me crazy. I have 4 kids and I don't know how to manage it all. I wish there was something that told me what to do. And so that's why I created the Catholic Minimalism book and challenge, and that is what you're here to do. And before I tell you what to expect from this group, I just want to remind us a little bit about why we're here by going over a couple statistics from Joshua Becker's 21 surprising statistics that reveal how much stuff we actually own. And you know this intuitively, it's why you're here, but I think the statistics themselves are pretty staggering. So we have an average of 300,000 items in our home, in the average American home. 300,000 items. That's crazy. The average size of the American home has tripled in size over the past 50 years. So your grandparents probably weren't struggling with this in the same way. They didn't have the same disposable income that we have. The items that they bought weren't considered as consumable or disposable, right? We buy IKEA furniture and then we just kind of toss it when we're done. And we do that with clothes. We buy cheap clothes from the Gap, not that they're cheap in price, but we wear through them, we throw them away. And it wasn't like that 50 years ago. 1 out of 10 Americans rents off-site storage, which means not only have they filled up their own home, but they have more stuff, and so they need to store it off-site. 25% of people with 2-car garages do not have room to park their cars inside of them. This is a pet peeve of mine, and I'll explain why in week 1. And 32% only have room for 1 car. Now, I'm not judging you if you can't park your cars in your garage. We can make that choice. I think minimalism is about intentionality. And so what I'm here to ask you is that how you want to live? And some of you may say, yes, that's fine. It's not a big deal. And some of you may throw up your hands and say, no, I don't know how we got here. I just kept throwing things in the garage and then all of a sudden I couldn't open it. And so then I want to really encourage you to tackle that plan and to figure out how to move forward. And this is perhaps one of the most surprising to me, which is that 3.1% of the children of the world live in the United States, and yet we own 40% of the toys. Okay? 3% of the children, 40% of the toys. And I think that that's why American children don't spend as much time outside. They don't spend as much time reading or using their imaginations, and it's driving them crazy. And then that drives us crazy as their parents. And parents are perpetuating it. We are falling for this trap, and we're buying them lots and lots of toys and more toys, and we need to stop doing that. And so we're going to talk a lot about that when we get to the kids' room section. So some ground rules for this challenge. most of you are going to be doing this through Facebook, where you're going to be interacting with each other there. And it's very, very important that you know that we are not going to be shaming each other. Okay? There will be no shaming. There will be no judgment. We're not going to tell people what to do unless they specifically ask. So if Sally pops in and shows a picture of her 100 pair shoe collection and then says she got rid of 20 pairs and now she only has 80, you are going to say, "Good job, Sally. That is amazing. I'm proud of you. You are awesome. Congratulations." That's what we're going to say. We're not going to say, "That's crazy that you still have 80 pairs of shoes." Okay? It's not our business. We don't know who she is, where she's coming from, her family background, her financial situation, and what's going on with her right now. So all we're going to do is celebrate everybody and their wins unless they specifically ask. So Sally may say, "I have 5 pairs of black high-heeled shoes." Why do I have 5 pairs of black high-heeled shoes? I want to narrow it down to 1. Tell me which one you like the best. Great. Pop in and say, "I like number 2 the best." And that will be genuinely helpful to her, but we're keeping it in that positive, cheering each other on space. When it comes to pictures, I am most concerned about what leaves the house, right? I'm going to talk later about the difference between minimalism, decluttering, and cleaning and organizing. Those are all very different things, but minimalization is about intentionally keeping the things that are important to us and getting rid of the stuff that isn't. And so I want to see pictures of your trash, your recycling, all the things that you're donating, which are going to kind of end up like in a big pile in the room that you're working on. So you can take one picture of it and say, "This is leaving my house." And then I will cheer you on in a big way for doing that. Now, most of you will actually choose to post before after pictures of the entire room, and that's really fun and totally fine. So you may take a picture of your completely cluttered, messy closet. You're going to purge a bunch of stuff, reorganize it, and then take this after picture that's stunning and such a huge transformation. You're going to feel great and everyone's going to cheer you on, and that's fine. I just want you to know that that's not necessary. You don't need to share pictures of your rooms with people. You don't need to share pictures at all. But to me, my intention, my goal for you is that you are actually getting rid of stuff and it's leaving your home. And so to me, that's what I'm most interested in seeing. This is not a cleaning challenge. It's not an organization challenge, right? So you could take your 30 pairs of shoes and put them in an awesome shoe organizer, and that would make your closet look better. But that's not really true minimalism. That's just organizing, which is great. It's great to organize our space and to feel more at peace in our space. But that's not necessarily what this challenge is about. So you may do that along the way. But again, keep in mind, this is mostly about what things are leaving our house. We've got to pare things down. So the other thing I want to talk about is that it's really important to go at your own pace. I've set out this 8-week timeline and I've arbitrarily chosen, the rooms that we're going to go through, but you can go in any order that you want. It may make sense for you to tackle your office before your bedroom, and that's fine because the albums for where we upload pictures are on Facebook, and so you can just do that at any time that you want. You will also have spaces that some of us don't have. Maybe some of you have a specific mud room. I don't have a mud room, but maybe you do and you want to work on that. You're going to fit that in where you want to fit that in. And so go at your own pace. If it takes you longer than 8 weeks, that's okay. This Facebook group is going to be up for a long, long time, and you'll be able to pop in and out of it as you want. And you'll be able to see the resources on my website when you're ready for them. And so don't be afraid to go at your own pace and to go in your own order. So I hope that makes you feel a little bit better about, the fact that I'm not going to tell you what to get rid of. The group is not going to tell you what to get rid of, and that you can go at your own pace. So here's what you can expect from me. I'm going to be posting room guides the Friday before we tackle that room. So you'll have the weekend to kind of think about the questions that I ask, or maybe read some of the articles that I link. Most of the articles that I'm going to link are going to be called decluttering articles because they ask the questions that we ought to ask while we're pursuing minimalism. But again, minimalism and decluttering are not the same thing, but those websites are really going to help you to think about your room more critically. I'm going to be doing live question and answer sessions on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Time. So that's going to look a lot like this video where I'm going to be talking, chatting about the rooms a little bit, some specific tips, and then answering any questions you have. So you can submit questions early. There will be a Facebook post that says questions for, this session, and I'll get those ahead of time. That's especially important if you're not going to be able to be there. So most of us can't actually sit at our computer at 10 a.m. Central Time, and that's okay. That's why if you give me the questions ahead of time, I'll address it, and then the video will just live in Facebook, and you can come listen to that at any time that you are ready. So, don't feel stressed about not being there. And then you can also ask questions after the video in the comment section, and I'll pop in and answer those as well. So I will be giving you lots of inspiration along the way in the form of saint quotes, Bible verses, general famous people quotes, and maybe some articles as well to read while you're hanging out during the week. So that's what you can expect from me. And I've already seen a lot of that from the group members themselves, which is so cool. Thank you, you guys. So if you find something that really inspires you, pop into the group and you can share that. I will also be sharing all of my own before-after pictures of every room in my home. So that's a pretty vulnerable thing for me to do, but I just really want to own this process for all of you and to share exactly what I'm doing, so you have at least one example of how a person with 4 kids and not a ton of money actually lives out minimalism. And that's something that I'm sure I will continue to evolve through over time, but at least I'll give you a snapshot for right now what that looks like. So you're going to get organized by printing off the planning worksheets, and the planning worksheets will talk about the order of the rooms, and then also there will be a sheet for each room. You're going to need to read through the questions and get ready. For a lot of us, that means nothing really. I mean, like when I'm going to tackle my girls' room, there isn't much I'm going to do to get ready before the day that I tackle that. Also, you're going to find that a week is a really long time, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom and you do have time during the day to tackle one room. It doesn't actually take a whole week to tackle your bedroom, but you may work full-time, or you may be a homeschooling mom. Whatever your life situation is, you may really only have a 2-hour block of time on Saturday to tackle your bedroom. And that's okay. So for those of you that have more time, be thinking about different areas in your home that aren't listed specifically in the 8 weeks, like your laundry room. The laundry room isn't specifically called out. And so maybe in week 2, it takes you 45 minutes to knock out your bathroom because that's not a problem area for you. Then move on to your laundry room and stick that in there. So those extra spaces that aren't necessarily listed, you can tackle that whenever you want. And so that's why on the planning worksheet, it has the list of rooms or areas in your home and the date that you want to do them. So pre-schedule those out. And again, you can follow along with my 8-week timeline, or you can put them in a different order. So, I also want you to share that with the group, the unique spaces that you have anytime that you want. So if you have a room that's entirely dedicated to crafts, pop in there and share that with the rest of the group, because I think that they would find that helpful. So being prepared mostly looks like consulting anyone else that needs to be involved. And you can do that now ahead of the 8 weeks and say, all right, husband, in, week 6, we're going to do the garage. And so I want you to block out some time that Saturday. We're going to do this together. And you can schedule that ahead of time. Or you can just do that on a week-by-week basis. So you can sit down on Sunday and say, hey, kids, Wednesday we're going to tackle your rooms. I need you to be available and be thinking about that before that pops up. Preparing staging areas. I find for myself this isn't a huge deal. I just make a pile for trash, recycling, things I'm donating, things I'm selling. And I do that in each room. I don't actually do that in one place in my house when I go through a minimalism challenge. So you can decide how that is going to look for you, but you're going to want to know where those staging areas are. And again, there's a worksheet for that. It's not really a worksheet. It's more just a read this so you know what those staging areas include. Then I want you to read the tips for success. That's really important because I want you to be successful and I don't want you to skip any steps. So read through that sheet and really prepare yourself for success. And then the last thing is to read through the faith and the life questions. One thing that's different about the Catholic Minimalism Challenge is the place that we're coming from. We're coming from this as Christians. We're coming from this knowing that our whole purpose in this world is to get to heaven for the rest of eternity. And so it's not about holding on to our stuff and letting the stuff we own really rule us. And so when you pick something up, instead of saying, does this spark joy? I want you to say, how does this help me accomplish God's mission for my life? Either serving your family, either serving your community, loving yourself as God wants you to love yourself, or to do something that He's asked you to do. A silly example is, my microphone that I'm using right now. I have a microphone for podcasting and for these videos, and that helps me to do my mission. This is my mission, is to help people become saints through personal development. And so my microphone does not spark joy in me, and that's fine, but I know very clearly why I have it and why I'm going to keep it for, a religious reason. So the other thing that's important is to ask for help, okay? The group is already doing a phenomenal job of this. It makes me cry and tear up, you guys. I look and I see just all these people supporting each other and cheering each other on. That is the great benefit of the Facebook group. If you're just doing it by email because you don't have Facebook, you're going to miss out on some of that, but that's okay. Maybe you can ask for help from your friends. Invite a friend over and say, what do you think about what I should keep or what I should toss or how I should organize these things? So pop into the Facebook group if you can, and just ask for help. I will help you. Although I'm already having trouble keeping up with everyone. There's almost 1,000 people in this group now, and so it's a lot of questions. But thankfully, y'all are jumping in and helping for me, and I really appreciate that. So that's it. I'm really excited. We're going to jump in. I'm going to do a video like this for each of the rooms, where I talk about things to think about and challenge you on what to keep and what to toss. But again, it's completely up to you. I'd love to see your before after pictures, especially for what's leaving your house. But if you feel up to doing a before after shot of a particular area or a room, then I think that would be fabulous. So this group is going to continue all the time. So if you have a friend, tell them to join anytime. They don't have to start at the beginning of the 8 weeks. They can just pop in whenever they want and either start at the beginning themselves or pick up where the group is currently. So I want you to continue to tell people about what we're doing, because I think it's really fabulous and something that just so many of us need. Americans, we're drowning in stuff, and it's creating a lot of anxiety in our homes. We don't know how to take care of it. We're drowning in debt because of it, and we need to retrain our brains to stop living this way. And so that is what this group is about, and I'm really excited to be here with all of you, and hopefully I can help improve your life and my own along the way in this 8-week journey. So again, I'm Sterling Jaquith. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a blessed day.